Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Volunteer Patrol. In this particular call, I was in a sector I'm not normally assigned to, over in the tourist area of Orlando. Just doing routine patrol in that area. We're kind of more of a presence in that area, just because it is a high touristy area, more or less crime prevention. Presence, they see a marked patrol car, they try to scare people off, so forth. But we are directed patrol in this area, and I'm traveling along, and it's a, if you guys have ever been down this particular road, it's called I-Drive or International Drive. Very well known to people that visit Orlando. A lot of different shops and malls and different touristy things, mini golf, stuff like that. So also, Wonderworks, I believe, is there, Ripley's. So we're patrolling this particular stretch of road, and I noticed a vehicle, no headlights, and we look for that. Either it could have not turned it on simply. They could be impaired to have not turned it on. They could be not realize that these new vehicles, I mean, I drive this truck, it's a Ford, and it appears that my headlights are on all the time just because of the way my dash back lights are lit up. You have no idea. So any one of those cases, obviously it's very dangerous not to have your headlights on. And when you're not allowed to do any type of traffic stops, it's very hard to kind of let the person know. So in this case, I made a U-turn, got behind the vehicle, and without turning on the actual overhead flashing lights, I just kind of was, I would hit my high beams a couple of times, and they still weren't getting it, still weren't putting their lights on. I actually ended up hitting the takedown feature on my overheads, again, not to signify I'm pulling them over, just basically, hey, turn your lights on, something's right. And they still were not getting the point. So now I kind of think I'm dealing with a two things. It could be obviously if somebody's impaired. That's not, but they weren't showing any signs. They weren't weaving. They were just driving straight as an arrow. So there's no obvious signs that they were impaired. So sorry, this road's really bumpy. It's making me kind of echoey here. They're not they're not turning their lights on. Finally, they pulled off into a store, and thank goodness they did. Again, not because of me. They did just happen to pull into the store, and allowed me to pull up next to them. And they were so thankful that I happened to be behind them. They were obviously in a rental vehicle. Turns out they were in a rental. They were not, they didn't know how to operate the vehicle. They did not know how to turn on their headlight switch. And even for myself, I wasn't fully aware of this vehicle. I believe it was a Nissan rental vehicle. I personally didn't really know. I had to kind of use my flashlight to look at their dash, and it wasn't the typical, on a Ford here. I have a little switch off the left here. It wasn't that, it wasn't there. Ended up being, I believe, on the driver's side, one of the sticks. You have your turn signal and your drive stick, and I believe that's where it was. We simply turned it and found the auto feature and left it on that. So very happy ending. No motor vehicle crashes due to somebody not seeing them and just pulling out of it. Again, very dangerous. So I recommend that those of you guys who are visiting or fly in and do get a rental car, make sure you guys know how that vehicle functions. It may not be the same over the models. Ford may have it here, but a Chevy, I believe theirs is on high beam switches, your headlight switch, and Mazda the same thing. And it may not be on the left side, it may be on the right hand side, it may be on the center console. I've seen vehicles that have the headlight switch there. So just kind of pay attention to your rental vehicle. know how it functions. That's the number one priority, safety wise. It's also going to help you from, had a deputy been behind the vehicle, the deputy could have initiated a stop, and obviously there would have been no ticket involved. They would have just simply done exactly what I did. Just it happens that I can't pull a person over, but was able to get to them at the store there, the restaurant. So happy ending, but again, get to know your vehicle and have a safe time when you're out visiting other areas and touristy stuff. And welcome to Florida and Disney and SeaWorld. So hope you guys continue to watch and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.